changes. In 1776, this great nation accepted that armed conflict was the only way to preserve our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If our founding fathers could only see us now. From Antietam to Amiens, Okinawa to Anchorage, we have fought. And now, the Red Menace is at our doorstep. Democracy itself is under threat of annihilation. That is why today, July 4th, 2076, 300 years after our great nation began, we gather together to honor the completion of Vault 76. This sprawling underground shelter may have been engineered by Vault.
Hey guys, my name is Toby, or well as my channel suggests, Unaware, and this is literally the first video I've ever made, so I decided to give it a shot. I wanted to play a little bit of Fallout 76, and obviously it's going to be the most clap gameplay footage you've ever seen in your entire life. I swiftly started off the run by making some stupid character. I don't know why, but we're going to name him Dig Big. Don't ask why I named him that. I decided that it was just the perfect name for him. And I decided to tweak around with his physical and facial appearance for a little bit, just before starting off, because we've got to make him the most clap character, obviously. After making my average homeless child of a character, I went off decided to try and loot my little dorm room. Obviously to no avail since nothing was there. Anyways, I went and picked up my Pip-Boy and left the room. The way the main chamber of the vault looked gave me PTSD of the funny place the doctors told me I had to go and stay forever in, so of course I made straight for the door while giving the robots all the biggest side-eye of my life to assert pure dominance over them. I left the vault on a good note, besides getting absolutely flashbanged by the large hole in the wall of what I could possibly imagine is an epileptic kid's wet dream. Also making sure I asserted dominance over the robot at the front entrance, before getting immediately flashbanged by my beautiful character that I made minutes prior. The moment I left the vault, I decided to do the exact same thing by accidentally emptying a magazine into the robot at the front entrance, before continuing down the stairs where I talked to two people standing there. By talked, I mean I skipped all their dialogue and they ended up giving me a machete, which is a win-win.
After you gave him, and he said, well, I told, but no. Wonderful. Thanks for answering. Seems only fair. Happy to tell you. Someone way to with people is monster guy we met up to us now to make someone way to broad.
Now, since I absolutely suck at the game, I spent 10 minutes going through my key bindings, which I forget later on anyways. I kept it at the same time of my wonderful two viewers, and went down another flight of stairs where I saw a small group of normal civilized people and did the most logical thought at the time, running them for their pockets and their loot. Immediately after running the people for their pockets, I decided I wanted to equip the most beautiful fashion I can possible with black rimmed glasses and a party hat. Because in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, who doesn't want to see someone like that running at them full speed? After running down yet another flight of stairs, I snuck up on another ghoul, just end up getting snuck on myself. Obviously, because I'm the best. I survive and then just scavenge their corpses. Cautiously walking down the path after the incident, I spotted a watchtower of sorts and decided to head over there. Doing the goofiest running jumping animation of my entire life.
Clean up this, fix that. Never seems to end.
After arriving to the watchtower, I did the most obvious thing any normal person would do. Scavenge! The guardsmen then began to start shooting, in which I thought it was at me, but I looked over just to realise we were just getting jumped by ghouls. And a beaver. Anyways, we slaughtered the remaining ghouls. And, of course, I ravaged their corpses for anything they held that may have been of value to me, which was, at that time, everything. After slaying the ghouls, I got a sudden bloodthirst, and just stared at the guardsmen for a little bit. Obviously, doing nothing in the process of that, because I forgot my keybinds, and then, accidentally tapped the grenade button. It was pure accident, I swear.
Porch of the ferals don't get you. The rads will.
After that truly unfortunate accident, I saw a warehouse building in the distance, just down the mountain from where I was, and decided I was going to head down there to loot up. Again, still trying to mess with my keybinds to remember them, because still don't know. After arriving at the warehouse, I went up the stairs and saw loot, which I obviously decided to loot. And then a random guy just appears out of absolutely nowhere from the side top window of the building. After heading to the next building over, I saw it was way more populated than the first building, and had a lot more resources and workbenches to mess with, which I looted and then scrapped all my loot to to save on inventory space, and so I can, later on craft and upgrade my other items.
Hey, Brad. Can I get you anything?
If you want a safe haven, go to our headquarters at the refuge in the old white.
After realizing scrapping weapons and armor gives me blueprints and recipes for different modifications to those items, I kept that in mind for later on when I would just start looting pretty much every other gun that I think I'd use in the time being before I get, something really good. So obviously, I'm just going to scrap all the weapons and pick them up. Heading along down the road after finishing looting that warehouse, I saw a little town of sorts, or village. So I decided to head over there, obviously equip my weapon because I heard things and I did not like the looks of it.
and went to scavenge it all. Hearing gunshots from within, I thought it would be a friendly of sorts, just defending from a mole rat or a rad roach. Just to turn out it's an enemy called the Scorch, which looked genuinely terrifying, and I kinda got surrounded, like, really fast within that building. For absolutely no reason at all. Both the guys that I killed outside had so much random stuff on them. Like, who carries a wooden spoon and steel scrap in their back pocket? But yeah. I finished leaving the downstairs area, but I wandered around there for like 5 minutes looking for other stuff, so I just cut it out. I headed upstairs, found a magazine, and a cat just sitting there. Sort of menacingly. Exiting that front house, I decided I was going to go over to the warehouse section, or the barn, but seeing the green and grey scorched corpses on the ground kind of terrified me, so I avoided going over that way and headed over to the next section, just over to the right. Entering their building, I did everything that I always do, which is wipe every enemy there and just scavenge the absolute hell out of the place. Because, I don't know, why not? I want the loot, and they don't need it. After finishing up scrapping and recycling all my weapons and armor and stuff, and picking up a few plans on the way, I decided I was going to head back over to the barn now and, well, attempt to loot that up, since it mildly intimidated me last time. Going about my ransacking life, after walking past one of the radiated, scorched corpses, I realized that if you near them or interact with anything near them or with them themselves, they break down to radiation and poison the absolute hell out of me. After I deemed I was done there, in that whole air section of the map, I decided to head back on the roads again, and to actually go to my main quest, which was visiting the Wayward. Making sure to also sneak up on your average crackhead on the side of the road, and, you know, give him a little love tap to the back. We finally made it to the Wayward, where the second I entered the building, I saw that it was actually just getting robbed, which was, first of all, that's my job. Second of all, I've got to talk to people here, so, yeah.
Sweetheart, I think you must be sick. Because point the gun at me.
Crouching up behind the man, where I was going to sneak attack him, Duchess, the woman at the bar, called me out, which completely blew my cover. So obviously, the guy named Batter saw me, and by any logical meaning, I picked the most reasonable action I saw there.
I told you it was gonna end badly.
So anyways, I went back to looting the base, and then went to decide to actually go talk to her. After doing what I usually do, and just completely skipping through and ignoring her whole yapping section, I finally got given the quest, eventually, which was making the sign, and, well, to go do that. Which, after ransacking more of the area, I actually went outside and just did, just 2 feet from the bar. Running outside and then running to the prepper stash, or what will look like a prepper stash, or the overseer's cache. I got a bunch of loot, obviously, which is my favourite thing in the whole world. So I dumped it all into the crafting table, scrapped it all into junk, and then put it back in the chest. Making sure that I scrap up any weapons and armor that I needed to as well at the very moment. I also decided to see if I could make any tweaks or adjustments to my weapons, obviously to make them stronger. I did end up making a long barrel for my hunting rifle, which I figured out I can't even use since it requires level 5 and I was level 2. So that was quite a disappointing experience. After going through my leveling system, I decided to, well, look for a perk to pick. I did end up seeing the find the 40% more ammo in crates, which really captured my glance. But I decided to see what the other ones had, and I saw the rifleman perk, which gave 10% more damage to non-automatic rifles, which obviously is the kind of kit that I want to go with. So I decided to go with that. For absolutely no reason, the second I left the leveling tab, a radiation storm appeared overhead, which I don't even remember it even starting, and I forgotten it leaving in the first place too. I decided to go through my plans on my notes tab in my Pip-Boy, and I just read them all, went through them, and then decided to try to look for an area to set up my base camp. I decided to settle up right next to the tree, approximately 2 feet away from the wayward, and I cut out 15 minutes of me figuring out how to use the building system, because for the life of me, I could not figure out how to use it. So, you're welcome.
Broadcast tape issued. Please deposit data tape into any relay system terminal. Target marked.
After placing the sign down and spending another 2 minutes finding the generator to put down, After that, before that happened, I cut out another 10 minutes of me trying to find a connection pole, which I thought was in the building menu. Just opened my map and realised the broadcast tower was 300 meters away, and I had to go up and actually interact with it, because my dumbass thought I could just build it on spot. As I was running through to get to the tower, I saw a scavenger on the side of the road in a puddle. I fought with my thoughts very, very hard to not put a bullet in the back of his head for absolutely no reason at all. And after that, I saw a few foxes, and obviously killed one of them, looted it, and then headed on my way up the tower again. Making my way up the tower, I saw a protractor on the side of the road, so I did the most moral thing, which was shanking the absolute living hell out of it, and scavenging its body for its corpses, for its loot. And after I did that, some random lady started telling me what not to do, how to do this, that I should join them, call the responders. Ooh. Yeah, I better not catch them lacking in the future is all. That's all I'm gonna say.
Might not think you're the type, but trust me, none of us sign up. We're called. Head to the church in Flatwoods. We'll be waiting for you.
We're cold, we're cold. I'm gonna be calling an airstrike to their current location in a second. Arriving at the watchtower, I see that it's obviously overrun with the Scorched, so I'll swiftly make work with them and then head inside to do my normal thing. Can you also tell me how half these bullets even hit me? Because I'm pretty sure on my screen it shows them zooming straight past my body. After killing the last Scorched, I did the most reasonable thing that I always love to do, which was absolutely scavenge the entire place for everything I can possibly get my hands on, because I'm a greedy little bastard. And then obviously I went and loaded the tape into the terminal. Excusing the fact that I actually forgot that I had to load the tape in the terminal.
Message uploaded. Initiating broadcast.
Finishing the tape, I teleported back to my base camp, in which someone was already there asking for Crane. I told him, nah, he's not there, and then proceeded to wait in a bush for the others to come. I was also making sure to maintain pure caution, because I don't know which one of these guys would be hostile or anything. Even though I'm pretty sure the most hostile person in this area is myself.
Crane found the treasure. The Wayward, huh? He might be at...
After I excused Omar the basketball protector, I went back to waiting in the bush to see if any more hostiles or friendlies would come by to see. Now these guys sounded like actual bandits, so I hid in the bush, snuck around behind them, just to realise I actually have to talk to them.
That's it?
Now, since these guys were actually reasonable and decided to not attack me, I went back and lashed out first because I wanted them dead anyways. So, the nanosecond, he finished talking to me and I exited out of the conversation, I just pulled out my knife and stabbed him in the throat. Ignore those first 2 shots. After clearing up that little mishap, I went back and spoke to Duchess, got my mission done, and headed back out.
Well, you don't.
Wait, West Virginia?
Also making sure to view my absolutely gorgeous dig big of a character. After doing all that, I decided to build a little 1x1 hut for absolutely no reason. Just to assert my location dominance before I find a new location to build my base later on. Also to mention, where the hell were my walls? They did just not appear in the building menu for like half the time. I had the floors, roofs and stairs and doors, but no walls. Now, on a serious note, this is literally the first video I've ever decided to put effort into and make. I usually make, or just post metal clips that I do streaming with my friend, I spare. I did put quite a bit of effort into this, even though it's not the greatest video. But if you did watch to the end of this, I appreciate you so much, and thank you for taking time out of your day to watch it. And I hope you have a good day, and I will continue to make these videos if people would like to watch.